Stop being busy. Start being effective. Stephen Covey, from the moment you answer your ringing phone with another client asking for just a quick favor, your pulse quickens and your mind races to all you still must do. You're pulled from email to calendar to voicemail and back again, a perpetual motion of busy work that leaves you exhilarated yet exhausted. You feel important, but the truth is, you're spending your days reacting rather than creating. You're trading time for tasks, time for money, time for a feeling of urgency, but you're not moving the needle on what really matters. Imagine, instead, waking tomorrow and feeling calm, clear, directed. You spring from bed not to chase notifications, but to serve your highest priorities. You don't merely fill hours, you design them. You don't confuse activity with achievement. You stop being busy and start being effective. It begins with a moment of stillness, a pause before the crash of demands. You turn off your phone's alerts. You sit at the edge of your bed and take 3 deep breaths. You ask, what result today will make it a success? Not 8 tasks checked off, but one outcome that transforms your business or your life. Maybe it's a marketing strategy that reaches new customers, a product prototype that solves a core pain point, or carving out time to mentor a rising star on your team. Whatever it is, you name it clearly. Hour by hour, you guard that outcome. When the inbox pings, you ask, will replying to this email help me achieve my one result? If not, you let it wait. When a colleague asks for a meeting, you say, let me send you a 1-page brief first. If the ask aligns, you schedule the meeting. If not, you redirect them to another resource. You cultivate the courage to say no with respect, with clarity, and without guilt. In the first week of living this way, you feel the friction of unaccustomed boundaries. Your assistant wonders why you've blocked 3 hours of deep work. A supplier bristles at your concise yes or no policy. But you persist. You fill your calendar with outcome-oriented blocks. Research customer feedback, draft the investor pitch deck. Map out next quarter's product roadmap. You stick to them like sacred appointments. By the second week, you awaken with a newfound energy. Where you once scrolled news and notifications, you now read a chapter of an inspiring biography, perhaps about a founder who built a company from a garage, or an investor who learned to bet on people, not pitches. You journal the lessons and translate them into action steps. You begin each morning with a 5-minute review of your big 3 priorities. That weekend, you face a temptation, a friend invites you to network over brunch, an event packed with handshakes and small talk. You ask yourself, will this move me closer to my critical outcomes? You realize your first priority this month is refining your signature service, not expanding your Rolodex. You are SVP with thanks but decline. You spend your Sunday afternoon sketching the new service design and testing early ideas with 2 ideal clients. On Monday, a flood of meetings threatens to engulf you, but you've built an escape hatch, office hours on Wednesday afternoons, reserved for internal strategy and creative thinking. No calls, no drop-ins. You signal to your team, in this time, I'm not available. If something truly urgent comes up, call my cell, but otherwise, respect the boundary. They learn to prep issues in advance or wait for your window. Mid-month, you face a familiar foe, the tyranny of the urgent. A critical bug emerges in your software. You could drop everything to fix it personally. Instead, you deploy your team. You've trained them to triage issues and empowered them to act. You stay in your outcome-focused block, finalizing the revised service package. Later, the bug is resolved, and your team reports back. You celebrate their success. You did not have to sacrifice your top priorities to react. As the weeks pass, you notice something profound. Your sense of control returns. You're no longer at the mercy of your inbox. You're mastering the art of selective engagement. You realize that effectiveness is a skill you cultivate, not a chance occurrence. To strengthen it, you adopt Stephen Covey's circle of influence. You map out concerns that plague you: market volatility, team turnover, personal stress, and separate them into 2 zones: influence and concern. Market swings go in the concern circle. You watch them, but don't obsess. Team turnover lands in influence. You coach hire and design retention strategies. Your personal health is in influence. You schedule workouts and meditation. Every day, you invest energy only where you can make a difference. In month 2, you formalize a weekly review ritual. Each Friday afternoon, you pull out your planner and journal. You ask yourself, which of my big three did I accomplish? Which did I let slip? Why? You adjust next week's plan accordingly. You track your effectiveness like sales figures with data. You notice that weeks with 0 unplanned meetings produce 30% more progress on strategic goals. During a quarterly offsite, your leadership team hears your methods and asks for training. You teach them to distinguish busy work from purposeful work. You show them how to draft clear meeting agendas with desired end states, how to close meetings with next steps written on the whiteboard, and how to veto unnecessary gatherings. Soon, your organization's calendar frees up, people breathe again, creativity sparks. By month 3, you enter a phase of exponential growth. You channel the energy saved from endless interruptions into innovation. You refine your product's user experience. You test a new marketing channel. You discover a niche audience that's been overlooked. Their response is enthusiastic. You realize that your effectiveness doesn't just raise productivity, it uncovers opportunity, yet you guard against complacency. You know that old habits can lure you back into busyness. So you build reminders, a desktop timer that chimes when it's time for your morning review, a weekly Slack reminder for your team's backlog grooming, a monthly email to yourself summarizing your top insights from the Circle of Influence exercise. In month 4, you face a crisis. A key client threatens to leave. Your instinct is to drop everything and placate them. But instead, you designate a rapid response team. The account manager leads the call. The product lead prepares a tailored roadmap, and you send a 1-page status update that shows you understand their priorities. You remain anchored in your own blocks. The client feels heard and stays at the 6-month midpoint. You pause for a personal check-in. You've been so focused on business outcomes that you've neglected your own well-being. You carve out a whole week for true renewal, days off, a retreat by the ocean, time with family. You realize that effectiveness blooms from a rested mind and a full heart. You build regular sabbaticals into your schedule mini. And Maxiso, you never let busyness erode your humanity. Returning refreshed, you streamline your processes further. You automate reporting, delegate administrative tasks, and recruit a virtual assistant. You craft standard operating procedures that capture your know-how so your team can run routine tasks without your input. You liberate yourself to focus only on decisions that require your unique vision. As month 8 unfolds, you launch a leadership development program inside your company. You train promising managers to own their own big 3 priorities, to protect their time, and to coach others in effectiveness. You recognize that lasting impact emerges when you multiply yourself through others. By month 10, your rhythms have become second nature. You wake each morning with a clear sense of mission. You sprint through your deep work blocks and glide through necessary communications. You feel liberated rather than burdened. Your team functions like a well-oiled machine, fueled by purpose rather than panic. In the final 2 months of the year, you scale your efforts to new heights. You pilot a strategic partnership that requires careful coordination across teams and organizations. Because you've mastered effectiveness, you handle the complexity without adding stress. You schedule joint planning sessions with crisp agendas, assign liaisons to key tasks, and track milestones in a shared dashboard. No one is frantic. Everyone is focused. On the last day of the year, you look back. You tally not hours worked, but outcomes delivered. A 40% increase in customer retention, a 25% rise in revenue, the launch of a new business line, and a team that thrives on autonomy. You feel proud not because you were busy, but because you were effective. More importantly, you became someone who chooses wisely. You learned that every yes is a no to something else. You discovered that saying no to low-value requests grants you the freedom to say yes to bold possibilities. You replaced busyness with clarity, noise with intention, reactivity with design. As you gaze toward the coming year, you ask, what would it mean to double down on effectiveness? Maybe you'll mentor other leaders in the art of purposeful work. Maybe you'll write a book on your journey. Maybe you'll launch a nonprofit that helps small businesses adopt these principles. Whatever you choose, you know the path. Focus on what matters. Invest your energy where you can influence and build systems that sustain performance. Stop being busy, start being effective. And watch how your life and your business transform.